Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. The mood is somber tonight in Very Biased Opinionsville. I don't know where I got that word from. It's time for another review of another Oxford United game. Today was the first leg of the League One playoffs. Oxford United played Blackpool, and it could not have gone any worse. It finished Oxford United 0, Blackpool 3. Almost certainly out of the tie before the second leg even kicks off. And in a little bit of a role reversal, we've gone with me hosting, Thomas providing his in-depth analysis on this one. Look, there were changes for both sides forced on by injury just before we get into it. It was a decent Oxford side, though. Hansen came in for Long. Henry was fit. Barker came in for Shadipo, but other than that, it was a good Oxford side you expect to see. Blackpool playing a usual 4-4-2. They had some injury problems, namely Kai not playing, but still had a dangerous front line and a bloody good defence. And yeah, what can you say, Tom? Where do you start picking the bones out of this one?
I don't really want to pick this apart in a first half, second half sort of thing. I'd like to do this a little bit more freestyle because we both know that I can't be kept on track.
Okay. Let's start with the 58th minute.
That sounds rogue. I don't even know what happened there. The 58th minute.
You just said you're doing like a bit of a kind of impressionist view.
So let's start with the fact that Blackpool were value for money. They defended extremely well. When they attacked, they were clinical. And at no one point in the tie after they took the lead, did you think that they were at any point not in control of the game. They took the lead in the 23rd minute, and it is an absolutely heinous defensive error from Josh Ruffles. Ball comes across on a free kick, and he, for some reason, tries to backheel the ball with his left foot, and all he does is plays it across the front to Turton to smash in a goal. Turton's first goal since 2019, and that set the tone for Oxford, who, going forward, looked really good, but defensively were all over the shop. Josh Ruffles and Atkinson have a lot of questions to answer in this game, don't they?
Yeah, first goal, completely needless. And before the game, I didn't say it, but I was thinking in my head of like, no doubt Oxford are going to have to work really hard to score. You cannot afford to give Blackpool anything cheap, anything easy, like what we did in the league game, and exactly what we've done here. A needless foul from Sykes given away, and then just a long ball to the back post. Ruffles, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just swinging a leg at it, and then Oxford players don't react. They just stand by, and Turton can kick it into an empty net. But what made matters worse, Tom, is Blackpool just got that second goal straight away, like 3 minutes later.
Yeah, and it was Atkinson was at fault. Sims had his number all day. We highlighted Yates pre-match. He scored 22 goals. He's got a bunch of assists. This is the guy. Kai, he's their top assister. Well, Kai's out, and Yates cut a peripheral figure for most of this. But Sims turns Atkinson, like flicks the ball over him, and you're like, the goal, right? You're a defender, you're a center back. The goal is the most important thing, and yet the entire match, it felt like Atkinson was trying to stop him from playing the ball out wide. So his body is in the complete wrong position, flicks it over him, and then just spanks it as hard as he can, comes off the bottom of Atkinson's foot. It's 2-0, and you just felt it. It's tie over 2-0, 2 goals in 3 minutes. From a team that do not concede, a team that have only conceded 37 goals in 38 games and have not conceded to Oxford this year. Oxford record, we established this earlier, was 4 goals against the top 6 all season, essentially. And at 2-0 down, top eight. And at 2-0 down, you felt it. You felt like nothing was going to happen. Half-time, we talk about it. And we spoke about this quite candidly. Oxford attacking looked good. Oxford defending.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just from a Blackpool point of view, it's a great goal. It's a really good goal. It's a good ball over the top, and Sims has done really well. It's deflected in, but he's earned that bit of luck. From Oxford point of view, it's just avoidable, just so avoidable, and I say an easy goal to give away. And this is just something that happened time and time again. And just what I saw in that first half as Oxford huffed and puffed was like, when Blackpool went forward, it looked like Oxford were really scrambling time and time again. They put some good blocks in, good bits of last-ditch defending, but it was like very, very like felt very much under the cosh all the time. When Oxford were attacking, Blackpool seemed so much better at just closing the door, getting bodies around, snuffing out the space, and making it hard for Oxford to get anything really. But at 2-0 down, Oxford had to go for it a bit in the second half, and you cannot say they didn't have chances, Tom.
No, and I mean, what the hell is Jeremiah Sykes doing? He's played in one-on-one. It's a fantastic through ball. I think it might have been the only good thing Henry did. I think it was him. He just cuts the defense open, plays this perfect, and Sykes just swings a boot, nails it, misses. Come 10 minutes later, fantastic ball across from Oxford's man of the match, Brandon Barker, who was absolutely unplayable. The Blackpool players, despite playing well, are going to have fits about him in their sleep. He was all over him. And the ball across 12 yards out, he's just got to hit it on target. What's he do? He skies it 100 yards over. And that sets up Yates and Sims to finish the job. And yet again, it's Atkinson at fault as far as I'm concerned. Long ball, Yates has got the ball. Yet again, Atkinson, keep him outside. No, mate. No. I'm afraid he's going to pass the ball outside, so I'm going to get in the wrong position. Cuts the ball back onto his more dominant foot, lays a really nice pass on. Sims, all he's got to do at that point is slide it under the goalkeeper, and that's what he does. And it's 3-0, Ian.
Yeah, and that was always what we talked about on the stream, the danger of giving Blackpool that early lead and letting them be able to just sit off and play defensively and pick Oxford off. Is the fact is Oxford had to huff and puff and give it a go, and you always felt susceptible to that third goal going in on the break. And again, from a Blackpool point of view, it's a great move and a great finish. But Oxford just ruined their chances of not getting that scoreline back to 2-1. With the home fans behind them, they could have got a head up of steam and got an equaliser. But it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. There's a lot of poor play in Oxford's performances that harken back to the early parts of this season, really, and not so much of what we've seen of them of late, where they've looked very good. And all in all, I mean, we'll go over some nuts and bolts. That's the end of it, really. I don't see any coming back for Oxford in this one in the second leg. Do you?
I think we'll both. You probably more than me will give very optimistic score lines, but I can't see this Blackpool side conceding anymore. Once it was 2-0, it felt kind of tie over, but you just thought, well, maybe Oxford can get that one goal. But the defensive errors, which have really hurt Oxford all season, crept back in here. It is a defense that next season, if they can keep the back four together with Stevens, you think will do better. Atkinson is a very young centre back. This was almost a baptism of fire for him. This was a real, it looked like they targeted him by the end of the game. It's the same with Ruffles. Ruffles did not look assured of himself in this game. We've already said it. We're not going to be doing a live stream for the second match. I'm traveling and you're at work, so there's no way we can make it work. But we're also not going to go out of our way to make it work because Oxford fans, I'm sorry to say, tie's over.
Yeah, and I think even the most hardened Oxford fan, most optimistic Oxford fan, like my brother, won't be thinking Oxford can turn this tie around. And much of anything else, Blackpool just looked too organised, Tom. I mean, they play this 4-4-2, and that's kind of the beauty of 4-4-2. When it keeps the game simple, when you've got players that can play it, it means everybody knows their role. It's a very organised way of playing football, and Blackpool are damn efficient, and you have to play you have to just hope almost they have an off day at the back for you to really hurt them, because even when you do get beyond them, Maxwell looks a great goalkeeper as well, and made some great saves in this one. But look, bright sparks for Oxford. I thought Brandon Barker was amazing. I thought he was great all the way through the game. He was Oxford's best player. I do actually think Sykes had a good game despite the miss. I thought he played well. Let's just not say anything at all. I don't think that was a red card at the start of the game. Not at all. It was, but again, it was a good move by Sykes through it. I thought Henry was poor. I thought Taylor was poor. I thought Lee was poor.
Can we just really quickly, Oxford's free kicks and set pieces were nigh on abysmal, and they didn't take Henry off free kick or corner duty until like the 84th minute when Ford got to take a corner. His balls in were dreadful today. Like, this isn't a weekly criticism of Henry. I actually think Henry's quite a good player. He's been really key to them, but he had a terrible game. And when a key player like that goes missing, and a player that really drives the team forward, it was always going to be an uphill struggle for Oxford.
But also as well, is like I don't get the tactics sometimes. It's like Oxford are. there's been times where Oxford have played some sides that are garbage at defending set pieces, and you can get, we get loads of joy from it. But there's times when it doesn't work very well, and this was certainly one of those games where I can't remember many times where Oxford won balls from set pieces. They would have been better off playing short balls, trying to get it down the wing, keeping the play flowing, kind of keep the game moving quickly. But they just didn't. They just got suckered into trying to swing the ball in, which is not their strong suit. So I just think, again, it really looked like an Oxford United side, much more like one that we saw at the very start of this season, which wasn't sure of themselves at the back and missed some great chances going forward. And all in all, as great as it was to get in the playoffs come the end of the season, we fall at the very first hurdle, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you got to say Husband was really good for Blackpool in this game. Sims obviously had a great game. In general, I thought Keshi Anderson, who I know Tangerine Matt and the Blackpool supporters really like, he's a very good player, but he's coming back from injury. He looked really good. Obviously, Medine comes off the bench. He didn't need to offer anything, though, because they were in complete control. And at the end of the day, you've got to say the better team won. And if you're an Oxford United fan, you're going to have a lot of gripes about this, and I'm going to have one more gripe in a second about it. But the team didn't not try. They went out there. The players specifically did everything they could to win. They've just come up short against a better side. And it's, I don't know, as an Oxford fan, you're never going to feel great. But at the end of the day, your team tried. And for once, so many of the losses we've watched from Oxford this season, you've just felt like they weren't giving it anything. It felt like everyone out there gave it their all. Brannigan, ran himself into the ground. He went off injured with 3 minutes left because he had done so much work. I am just quickly. Karl Robinson, shut the hell up. They're red hot favorites. They're the best team in the playoffs, and we're the worst. Well, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy if I ever heard it.
Yeah, those are the things that definitely annoy me about Karl Robinson, and I don't really have much else I can say. I think you've summed it up pretty well there, Thomas. So I will wrap this video up, and I will say, yeah, it's a really disappointing result, Oxford fans. But if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe if you're a Blackpool fan, you might want to give it a thumbs up, and I'll try and get a thumbs up from a Blackpool fan. Well done, you deserved it. The second leg's on Friday. As Thomas already said, we're not going to be live streaming that one, but I will do some sort of a reaction video at some point on Friday night or Saturday morning for that one. But other than that, just keep supporting the channel, keep watching the content. We really do appreciate it. And I'm going to go and cry into a pillow very, very softly into the night. And I'll see you all very soon.